Now this is a lesson that you might have been told by your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, and your friends. It's a statement that's hard to accept when you are facing failure. I'm hopeful that sharing my story of failure as a child helps show that even if it does not feel that way, failure comes before success. Your expectation of me as a teacher might be that I've always been good at school, that I've always loved school. But as a child, I had low academic performance. I was slow to learn English. And I struggled being in loud places, which made elementary school the perfect place to be. But I had a mother who needed to understand why. Who needed to understand why I was failing academically. And did not accept my academic failure. Asking why is a powerful question. It's a powerful question because it can lead to answers. For us, as my mom asked why is my son struggling with school? We went to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, Ontario. From there, my life in the classroom was traded for a life in the test room. For months and years, I took tests trying to understand why I was struggling in school. What we discovered is I have central auditory processing difficulties, a tongue twister and a hard word to say. What it means is I'm very sensitive to sound. I hear everything. I hear every tatter on a cell phone, every whisper, every step, every word. One way to visualize it is if you think of a whole sentence, someone speaking. The whole sentence is compressed for me. And I have to focus my mind and my concentration to understand what each word is being said. What did this do for us? Well, we understood now why. Why am I struggling with school? What to do? I moved to Trillium Demonstration School in Milton in grade 9. And that is where things began to change. Because at Trillium, I learned to succeed from failure. Through determination and repetition. When I arrived there, you might be surprised to know that as a grade 9 student, I had never read a book before. As a grade 9 student, I read at a grade 6 level. The gap between me and where I needed to be to match my fellow students was far. The school set an ambitious goal, and that goal was to close this gap. To do that, they began to teach me failure is okay. Failure is a part of learning. Similar to Make Believe, we had a silent reading program after school. Every day, I had to read a book. Every day, my teacher would ask me, how's the book going? I would reply, I don't like it. Why? The question was always why. Why are you struggling with it? What don't you like about it? My answer eventually became, well, I have to find a new book. Eventually, I found this book, The 16th Round. It was the first book that I read in my life, and it will always be important for me for that reason. I may have not understood every word in that book, but I understood enough to know the story and to gain a determination to finish it. It was the start of that success, with my first book having been read at grade 9. We began the process of applying determination elsewhere in school. As a young child, I struggled to speak because of central auditory processing difficulties. I couldn't hear the sound. I couldn't mimic it. To learn, I had to learn phonetics, which is the process of repeating again and again. The, bu, huh. Each sound in the English language, so that my tongue would gain muscle memory of what that sounded like. That's become an important skill to surviving in China. As many of my students know, my Chinese is terrible. But every morning, I have to get into a cab and I have to say, 方言学校. Thankfully, taxi drivers in Wuhan are fantastic. They are patient. They listen. They go, 什么? 吃不懂? 老外? Eventually, I hit the right pronunciation, or close enough that they will go, ah, 方言学校. What I'm trying to say is that failure became a period of time for me, and not the conclusion. Now that's only half of the battle. When you've gained determination, when you know where you want to go, you need support. My mother, my teachers, they set an ambitious goal for me in Trillium. Why not go to university? Why not see how far you can go? Is this unique? No. Everyone in this room has a parent, has a friend, has a grandparent, has a teacher, has a counselor, who is telling you, set ambitious goals. Know where you want to go. And as they say that, we don't always listen. Because it's hard. It seems impossible. And it's really a shame that we don't remember when we were babies. And I encourage you, when you go home, ask your parents what it was like when you were learning to walk. Because what an impossible goal you set for yourself. As I show this video, I want you to think how many times this baby fails in its impossible dream to walk, and how it reaches out for the support of its family in reaching that goal.
Can you walk? Standing then.
They set goals and they try to reach them. They ask for help. Boy, do they ever ask for help sometimes. But in adulthood, we sometimes lose that bravery. We sometimes lose the ability for what we feel is losing face. To ask others, help me. Why am I struggling? I don't understand. It's a very powerful thing to admit. It's a scary thing to admit. But if you do start to admit that, and you have an ambitious goal, you'd be surprised at what can happen. With my ambitious goal to go to university, I did struggle, but I made it. In my first year of university, I struggled once more, but I grew confident in asking for help and support.
As a result, with my determination to succeed and my willingness to seek help, I finished my degree on the President's Honor Roll.
By the time I went to my Bachelor of Education, I finished with distinction, the highest of distinction. Here are some of the things I've learned. One of the most important is that this is a personal journey for you. What works for you will be different. The way that you begin to discover what will work for you is by knowing the value of why. Why am I struggling? What can I do? These are powerful questions. And if you're willing to ask them, like my mother was, like my family was, like I came to be able to do, you'll learn that success is a matter of time. Thank you.